But do not confuse the method for the miracle. The miracle is your shift in identity. The miracle is your unbroken focus on the state of the wish fulfilled. Whether you get there through words, images, or silence matters less than the fact that you get there and remain there. Your assumptions are creative acts. They are the secret architects of your reality. If you assume you are unloved, the world will prove it to you. If you assume you are powerful, opportunities will unfold to validate it. But assumptions are not changed once. They are reaffirmed daily through focused attention. You cannot casually assume greatness while feeding your mind on mediocrity. You must choose again and again, moment by moment, to return to the image of your fulfilled desire. The world is always mirroring back your internal atmosphere. You meet yourself everywhere. If you are always struggling, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Where does my mind drift when it is at rest? If lack is always showing up, then somewhere the focus of your belief is still tuned to not enough. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot dwell in lack and expect abundance to arrive. The power lies in choosing the new master and remaining loyal to that choice. And yes, it requires discipline, not the discipline of force, but the discipline of love. You must love your desire so deeply that you are unwilling to betray it by returning to the old thought, the old complaint, the old story. You must become so enamored with the vision that it eclipses the evidence of your senses. You must learn to feel joy before the thing arrives, for in truth it has already arrived in the invisible, and by your focus you draw it into form. You see, every desire is a seed of destiny. It has within it the power to manifest itself, but it requires your cooperation. And your cooperation is given through attention. Whatever you water will grow. If you water fear, it blossoms into limitation. If you water love, it becomes your experience. You do not need to know how the seed will break through the soil. That is not your task. Your task is to keep the soil fertile by focusing only on what is wanted. Most people make the mistake of focusing only when convenient. They start their day with intention, but let the world drag their mind back into confusion by noon. They imagine for 5 minutes and then spend 5 hours worrying. They meditate on abundance, then argue for their limits. The universe does not respond to brief flashes of belief. It responds to consistent states of being. The state you most often return to is the one your world will reflect. So take inventory of your focus. Begin to notice where your energy goes. Are you building a temple of desire or a prison of fear? Are your inner conversations aligned with the life you seek, or are they replays of past disappointments? You must become the guardian of your mind. Let no thought pass that contradicts your vision. Correct it, replace it, shift it, every time. This is the practice, and over time it becomes natural. Focus becomes effortless. The new state becomes familiar, and the world begins to change. When you focus persistently, you raise your vibration to the level of the desired experience. This is not mere poetic language. This is spiritual law. Every state has a frequency. When you dwell in the feeling of success, you attract that which matches it. When you live in the energy of gratitude, more is given to you. And that frequency is maintained through attention. You do not climb to a new state by wishing. You ascend by tuning yourself to it again and again, until it becomes your dwelling place. And yes, there may be resistance. The old self will protest. The mind will try to drag you back to the familiar, but you must remain. You must refuse to abandon the new reality just because the outer world hasn't yet caught up. It will catch up. The bridge of incidents will unfold. People, events, conversations, synchronicities, all will align to bring forth what you have claimed within, but only if you remain focused. This focus is not strain. It is surrender. It is not forced repetition. It is loving acceptance. You are not trying to convince the universe. You are reminding yourself of what is already true in the unseen. You are steadying your vision, not to make something happen, but to allow it to emerge. That is the mystery of creation. The more you surrender to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the less effort is needed to see it appear. And remember this, the world will test your resolve. It may seem to push back, to offer delays or oppositions. But these are not denials. They are mirrors showing you where your focus still wavers. Use them not as reasons to give up, but as opportunities to anchor deeper in your assumption. Every challenge is an invitation to focus more clearly, to refine the vision, to trust the process. Nothing can be denied the one who refuses to shift attention from the end. This is the quiet power that moves mountains, not through force but through faith, not through chaos but through clarity. The one who dwells in the state of the fulfilled desire becomes magnetic. People feel it, circumstances conform to it, life bends in service of it, and that power has been given to you, not in the future but now, not conditionally but fully. All that is required is that you focus. Let the world call it delusion, it matters not. The dreamer who believes in their vision is the one who shapes the future. History is written by those who dared to see what others could not, and they saw it not with their eyes, but with their inner sight. They did not wait for evidence. They created it, and so can you, but only if you refuse to scatter your focus on what is not wanted. Only if you devote your full being to the reality you choose to inhabit. Every time you return to the image, every time you dwell in the feeling, every time you affirm the truth of your desire, you are laying another stone in the foundation of your new world. Do not grow weary. Do not become casual. This is your sacred work. This is your divine right. All things are possible to the one who believes, and belief is sustained through focus. You are not here to settle for what is. You are here to imagine what can be. And then to make it so, you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator of them. You are not weak, not small, not forgotten. You are powerful beyond measure. And the moment you give your full attention to that power, the world will echo it back to you in ways that are undeniable. So choose now, choose again and again, until the choice becomes your reality, until the image becomes flesh, until the dream becomes the world. It is not far, it is not difficult, it is only waiting for your focus. There is a sacred rhythm that begins to emerge when you persist in this focus state. Life no longer feels random, chaotic, or unfair. Instead, it becomes responsive, fluid, and obedient to your inner vision. The people you meet, the opportunities that arise, the resources that appear, none of them come by accident. They are drawn to you because you have become aligned with the frequency of your desire, and that alignment is the fruit of your focused attention, lovingly applied, day after day. You are not manipulating reality. You are harmonizing with it. There is no need to beg or plead or strive. The moment you see yourself as already possessing the thing desired, the entire universe begins a silent orchestration to bring it forth. This is not magic. It is law. But you must remain in the end long enough for the bridge to appear. You must live in the assumption as if it were already true. That is the test and the triumph of focused creation. Too often, people abandon their visions halfway through the process. They begin with hope, but fall back into doubt when the outer world seems unchanged. They let go of the state just before the manifestation arrives. And so, the seed is never given time to grow. But the wise one understands that delay is not defeat. They know that every moment spent in the fulfilled feeling is another thread woven into the fabric of reality. They hold to their inner image not out of desperation, but out of certainty. You must become intimate with your desire as if it were already yours. You must feel it in your breath, your words, your posture, your choices. Let it saturate your being so fully that you can no longer distinguish between imagination and experience. For that is the great secret. There is no difference. The world does not respond to what is real. It responds to what is assumed to be real. An assumption is made real through focus. So do not look to the world for confirmation. Look within. Strengthen the image, deepen the feeling, and above all, remain loyal to the new state. That is the path. That is the promise, and that is the power that has always been yours. In the end, everything you desire is already within reach, but only if you are willing to rise to the level of focus it demands. You are not here to wish passively, but to live intentionally, to choose again and again the reality you want to inhabit, until it becomes more real to you than what your senses show. The world will echo back what you consistently assume to be true. So let your focus be unwavering, your faith unshakable, and your imagination alive with the end already fulfilled. When you dwell in the feeling of the wish realized, without doubt, without delay, life itself will bend to reflect that truth. All things are truly possible, and the gatekeeper is your focus. There is a secret formula that governs all things seen and unseen, a power so mighty, yet so silent, it operates without noise, without sweat, without effort as the world knows it. It is the power within you, not in the stars, not in the winds, not in the economy, not in others, within you, and tonight I will show you how to use it, to manifest anything in 24 hours or less, not through wishing, not through hoping, but through knowing. The truth has always been hidden in plain sight, buried not by time or conspiracy, but by the noise of the world. You have been told to strive, to labor, to suffer, to earn. But I tell you, to him who knows the secret, all things are already his, and nothing need be earned, only accepted. Everything begins with a thought, but not every thought becomes reality. So what makes one thought manifest and another dissolve into nothingness? It is feeling. Feeling is the secret code that translates the invisible into the visible. The world responds not to your desires, but to your inner conviction. It mirrors your inner state. The moment you feel as if the thing desired is already yours, the universe begins its silent orchestration. Circumstances shift. People move, time bends, and what was once unseen becomes undeniable. Now hear me clearly. To manifest anything in 24 hours, you must suspend the senses. You must divorce yourself from the tyranny of appearances. Do not let your eyes tell you what is true, for the visible world is but the shadow of your former beliefs. What you see is merely the echo of who you were, but what you feel, deeply, persistently, as true, that is what is forming even now. Suppose you desire a specific amount of money by this time tomorrow. Do not ask how. Do not concern yourself with channels or logic. Reason is the enemy of miracles. Instead, retire within. Enter the temple of your own soul, and in that holy silence construct a scene. A simple scene. Let it not be complicated or fanciful. Perhaps it is the feeling of holding the very amount you desire, or someone telling you, "I can't believe you got the money that fast." Make it short. Make it vivid, make it loop, and above all, feel it. Do not visualize it as a distant hope. Become it. Lose yourself in it. If it is love you desire, do not wish to be loved. Be loved. If it is health, do not try to become healthy. Feel what it feels like to be whole, to run, to breathe, to stretch with ease. Do not visualize healing, visualize health. The world you live in now is the residue of your old beliefs. To change it, you must no longer emotionally react to it. You must act as if. You must walk through the world not as a beggar, but as a master, not arrogant, not loud, but inwardly sure, quietly confident, at peace, because he who knows that his prayer is already answered asks no more. When you go into your imaginal act, make it real, make it now, hear the sounds, smell the air, touch the fabric, see the light in your scene. Let the inner senses come alive. The mind does not know the difference between memory and imagination, between real and imagined. To it all is real. So if you can sustain the imaginal scene with feeling, you command the invisible to take form. After your imaginal act, do not speak of your desire again as if it's in the future. Do not say, I hope it happens. That is death to the seed. Instead, speak as one who has already received. Move as one who already holds it in hand. This is not pretending. This is living from the end. It is not acting as if for performance. It is acceptance in faith, and faith is not blind. Faith is seeing with the eyes of God. Every state already exists. There is nothing to create, only to select. And you select by attention and feeling. Imagine your desire fulfilled, then believe in its reality more than you believe in your present lack. This is the secret to speed. Most wait for signs before believing. But signs follow. They do not precede. The sign shall come after the assumption, not before. So assume it now. Assume it fully. Doubt will come. The mind will whisper, but how? Do not listen. Let the doubting mind speak, but do not answer. Like Christ before Pilate, remain silent, for to argue with doubt is to give it power. You owe the outer world no explanation. Your inner world is law. The moment you accept this truth, the outer must conform. The interval between assumption and manifestation is determined by the intensity of your feeling and the absence of resistance. If you can completely abandon yourself to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, without doubt, without contradiction, it will harden into fact swiftly, often within hours. You will be astonished by how quickly reality bends when you no longer question, when you no longer seek signs, but dwell in certainty. Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing your world changed. It is not fantasy. It is law. It is not luck. It is principle, and that law is activated not by time, but by attention. Give your entire focus, even if only for 5 minutes, to the end scene. Saturate your soul with it. Then release it in gratitude, not desperate clinging, but calm expectation. Gratitude is the final seal. Gratitude says, it is done. Gratitude closes the prayer and opens the gate. The ungrateful beg, but the grateful receive. So walk in gratitude as if your manifestation has already occurred. Smile not because you're pretending, but because you know. Let us take another example. Suppose you are lonely and desire companionship. Do not sit in the feeling of lack, that is to pray wrongly. Instead, go into your imagination and feel yourself being loved. Hear the voice of your companion, feel their hand in yours. Imagine the small details, a shared meal, a quiet laugh, a walk at sunset. Let your whole body come alive to the joy of this new reality. Then leave it. Go about your day as if nothing were missing, as if you were already met. That is faith in action. Whatever you dare to assume as true becomes your experience. Life does not care if your assumption is big or small, logical or outrageous. The universe is impersonal. It yields to your inner command, but that command must come with belief. Not idle wishing. Belief is bold. Belief is unshaken. Belief does not flinch. You may say, but I have tried before. Then I say, you have tried in part, not in full. You have desired, yes, but have you assumed? Have you felt it real and rested in that knowing? Or have you hoped and waited and doubted? There is a difference between wishing and living from the end. One leads to delay, the other to manifestation. And if you say, I don't feel it yet, then go deeper. Do not try harder. Surrender more fully. Let go of trying. Simply become. There is no striving in the kingdom, only accepting. You are not becoming rich. You are rich. You are not getting well. You are well. Claim it, feel it, know it. This is the mystery Christ taught when he said, What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. He did not say to believe after. He said to believe while praying, in the act itself. Believe that it is already yours. Many say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the true mystic says, "I'll see it when I believe it." The eye of faith sees the unseen and calls it done. And the world, unable to resist the force of conviction, bows to that vision. You may think it's too simple. That is the stumbling block. The simplicity is the power. No rituals, no effort, just assumption. The world makes it complicated to keep you seeking. But the kingdom of heaven is within, and it is found not by toil, but by revelation. If you would manifest anything in 24 hours, you must become one with it in consciousness. And once you become one, the world cannot help but reflect that unity. It must obey the blueprint you hold within. You cannot deceive the law. It does not hear words. It hears feelings, and it gives back what you are. So go now into the silence, construct your scene, feel it deeply, dwell in it, rest in it, and then let it go, not as abandonment, but as release, like planting a seed and trusting the soil. You need not watch the clock. You need not wonder, just trust. Let peace be the proof. Let calm be the evidence. When the phone call comes, when the check arrives, when the message is received, do not be surprised. Smile and remember this moment. For you did not wish it into being. You imagined it, you felt it, you became it, and the world simply did what it always does. It bowed to your belief. The secret formula is no secret at all. It is your own wonderful imagination. And once you learn to feel your desires as fulfilled, not one thing shall be impossible to you. The world you now behold is but a mirror, and like all mirrors, it does not create, it reflects. The moment you awaken to this truth, you become free. You no longer plead for change, you command it, by changing the image you hold within, and the change need not take years. It need not take months or weeks. It can occur in a single day, in a single hour, in a single moment, if you are willing to die to what was and rise into what is. The secret is repetition, not repetition of effort, but of assumption. The assumption must be renewed as often as you fall back into doubt. If the old man creeps in and whispers, "It's not here yet," do not argue. Gently return to your inner scene, feel it again, smell it again, touch it again. Re-enter the state and dwell there until the former state loses its hold. For as long as you live in the memory of the lack must persist. But the moment you truly forget it and fully inhabit the feeling of fulfillment, then fulfillment is all that can appear. It is not enough to think of the end, you must think from the end. To think of the mansion is to see it as distant. But to think from the mansion is to sit by the fire within its walls and feel the warmth of possession. You do not stand outside the blessing. You step into it. You clothe yourself in it. You wear it until it fits your soul like skin. Let the world call it madness. Let them say it is foolishness. They have their logic, but you have your law, and the law is this: according to your faith be it unto you, not according to your effort, not according to your need, but according to your inner certainty. It is not arrogance to walk in faith. It is obedience to the unseen law of creation. You were never meant to live by sight. You were meant to live by vision. And vision is not what you see with your eyes, but what you behold in your imagination. Imagination is the workshop of God. It is the womb of creation. Everything that now exists was once imagined. There is not a single thing, be it building or empire or invention or story, that was not born first in the mind. The chair you sit on, the room you're in, the clothes you wear, all came from someone's inner vision. So too must your life be shaped from the inside out. You cannot change the mirror by touching the glass. You must change what is in front of the mirror, and that what is your inner self, your state of being. Every desire is a divine seed. The moment you feel it, it is planted, but you must water it with belief, and belief is felt, not spoken. You cannot say, I believe, and tremble with fear. You cannot declare, it is done, and worry all night. Belief is rest. Belief is knowing. Belief is the quiet confidence that, no matter what appears, what is real is already done. So do not look for signs. Let the signs look for you. Your task is to remain faithful to the vision. If your desire is to have money, do not wait for someone to give it. Feel yourself already provided for. If your desire is to find your purpose, do not ask others what it is. Ask your imagination. See yourself doing the thing that makes your heart burn. Hear the voice of someone telling you, you were born for this. That voice, though imagined, is more real than anything the senses can report, because it is creative. It is forming the very substance of your world. There is nothing outside you that is greater than what is within you. The whole world bends to the direction of your attention. What you focus on expands. If you focus on fear, you grow fear. If you focus on delay, you stretch time. But if you focus on fulfillment, fulfillment comes, not because you chased it, but because you became it. Time is a servant, not a master. The world says things take time, but creation is finished. All possibilities already exist. Time only separates you from what you're unwilling to accept now. The instant you change your state, time collapses. What once took years can arrive in hours. Miracles are not exceptions. They are the natural result of right consciousness. You are not manifesting for the first time. You are always manifesting. Every experience you've had is the outpicturing of yourself, concept. If you believed yourself small, you received small things. If you believed yourself unloved, you attracted neglect. The law was not broken. It was obeyed perfectly. So change the seed, change the inner word, and the outer must yield. You can test this. In fact, you must. Choose something small. A phone call from a friend, a compliment, a gift, a kind word. Go within. Imagine receiving it. Feel the joy. Hear the tone of voice. See the setting. Accept it as real, then forget it. Go about your day with peace. Do not look for it. Let it find you. When it comes, smile. Not in surprise, but in gratitude, for it was you who called it into being. Then try something larger. Stretch your faith. Assume the impossible, and you will find to your wonder that nothing is truly impossible. The only limits are the ones you accept. The law does not care if the thing you want is big or small. It only cares whether you believe it is yours. So believe with your heart, not your head. The head argues, the heart knows. Suppose you desire to move to a new home. Do not wait until the money appears. Imagine yourself already in the new place. Feel the keys in your hand. Walk the halls in your mind. See your furniture in the rooms. Smell the air. Taste the new life. Do not say, one day. Say, now. For now is the only moment where creation begins. And do not be deceived by what appears to be obstacles. Sometimes things fall apart outwardly, not to punish you, but to make room for what you have inwardly claimed. What you call loss may be the divine rearranging. Hold fast to the vision. Even when the winds howl and the doors close and friends depart, hold fast, for the vision has its own intelligence. It knows how to reach you. It knows what must leave for it to arrive. Many give up too soon. They assume the law has failed because the old lingers, but the old is only the echo. Keep walking in the new. Keep praising in advance. Keep loving what you've already received in the unseen. And soon the unseen will become seen, and the waiting will end. Let your words be few, but full of power. Do not beg, do not plead, declare, affirm. Speak only from the state you have entered. If you are rich in imagination, do not speak as the poor. If you are healed in imagination, do not speak of disease. If you are loved in imagination, do not speak of loneliness. The outer may try to argue, but do not answer. Stay faithful to your new name. Every state is a name. And when you enter a state, you take on its nature. You walk as it, talk as it, dream as it. So ask yourself not, how will this happen? Ask, who must I be for this to be natural? Then be that person, now. Before anything changes, that is the test, and when you pass it, the world will reflect it with uncanny speed. This is the formula. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, remain faithful, speak from it, and rest in gratitude. Nothing more is needed, no ritual, no candles, no sacrifice, only a shift in identity. That is the divine alchemy. That is how you turn invisible gold into physical riches. Do not rush the process. The 24-hour manifestation is not forced. It is received. The speed depends not on time, but on your willingness to believe now. If you can do that, time will fold, and what others labor years for will come to you in a day. Try it tonight. Choose a desire. A clear one. Go within. Construct the scene. Make it short. Feel it vividly. Dwell there until it feels like home. Then release it. Go to sleep in the assumption, and when you wake, carry the feeling like a secret jewel in your heart. Speak to no one of your method. Let your results speak for you. Do this, and you will understand the mystery. You will laugh at how simple it is. You will wonder how you ever believed the lie that you were separate from your good. The truth is, you and your desire are one. The moment you realize that, the moment you feel that, the manifestation is inevitable. Let no man tell you otherwise. Let no delay cause you to doubt. The law is sure. The power is real. The kingdom is within, and the keys have been in your hand all along. When you finally grasp the truth that consciousness is the only reality, you will cease to chase shadows and instead begin to command substance. You will no longer wait for the world to approve, for conditions to align, or for people to cooperate. You will realize that none of those things matter when you change the root from which they grow. Everything you experience is rooted in the assumption you carry. If the root is abundance, the fruit will be plenty. If the root is peace, the fruit will be calm. But if the root is worry, then all your works will be poisoned with fear, no matter how hard you strive to make them good. That is why striving fails and stillness prevails. Be still and know. That is the ancient command. Be still, not passive, but inwardly certain. Know, not guess, not wish, but know that what you have imagined is already yours. Your knowing is the foundation. Without it, the structure collapses. With it, even the impossible becomes predictable. You can walk through fire and not be burned, because you carry within you the atmosphere of fulfillment. And though appearances may mock you, they are only the residue of your former thoughts. Do not curse them. They are old harvests. Let them pass. They are not your present. They are not your future. Your present is your inner conviction. Your future is what you are imagining right now. So imagine wisely, speak deliberately, act as if, not in arrogance, but in alignment, not to fool others, but to teach your body the truth of the unseen. When your walk matches your word, and your mood matches your desire, the whole universe will rise to meet you. No one can do this for you. You may hear the truth 1,000 times, but until you take it up and wear it like a garment, it remains just words. But the moment you live it, truly live it, it becomes flesh, it becomes your life, and the world, seeing your transformation, will call it luck or coincidence or fate. But you will know the truth. You will know it was you, clothed in the power of imagination, who turned the invisible into the visible and called the things that are not as though they were, until they were. So in the end it all comes down to this. Dare to believe that your imagination is not fantasy, but the very engine of reality. Dare to assume that what you desire is already yours, not someday, but now. Walk in the state of the wish fulfilled, not as a game, but as a way of life. Let your inner world become more real than what your eyes can see, and the outer world will shape itself to match. Do not chase, do not force, do not beg. Simply receive by being, for what you are conscious of being you become. And when you live from that truth, the world must yield. It has no choice. This is the secret. This is the law. This is the gift. Use it. I want to speak to you about something profound, something so powerful that once you understand it, your entire world will change. It is not about hard work or luck or circumstance. It is about a simple yet radical shift in how you engage with life. I will teach you how to feel it, how to feel the reality you desire, not as a distant hope or a future dream, but as a present, living experience within you. Most people look at life as if they are spectators, waiting for things to happen, hoping the world will bend in their favor. They chase after goals, collect facts, plan, and strategize. But the secret I offer you today is that life does not respond to what you think. It responds to what you feel. Your feelings are the language through which the unseen world shapes your reality. You must understand that feeling is not just an emotional reaction to the outside world. Feeling is the creative power itself. When you truly feel an event or a state of being, you set into motion the forces that bring it to pass. Feeling is the bridge between your imagination and your experience. So how do you learn to feel it? How do you enter that inner state where what you desire is not just a wish, but a palpable, undeniable truth? First, recognize that your consciousness is the womb in which all creation is conceived. What you hold in your mind and heart, you give birth to in the world. Imagine your mind as a garden. What seeds are you planting? Are they seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation, or are they seeds of joy, abundance, and success? Feeling is the water and sunlight that nurture these seeds. You must cultivate the feeling of your desire fulfilled, watering it daily, bathing it in the light of your attention. This is not about daydreaming with the mind scattered and unfocused. It is about entering a state of deep conviction, where the reality you seek is as certain as the ground beneath your feet. To begin, choose one desire, a life you want to live, a state you want to embody, a circumstance you want to see manifest. It could be as simple as peace, love, or confidence. It could be something tangible like financial freedom, a relationship, or health. Whatever it is, bring it before your inner eye as a completed fact. See it clearly, as if you are looking at a photograph that captures your reality now. But seeing alone is not enough. You must engage your feeling. What does it feel like to live that reality? What emotions arise? Joy, gratitude, relief, excitement, peace. Don't just think about those feelings. Immerse yourself in them. Let them flow through your body. Let your heart swell with the certainty that what you desire is yours. This feeling is a powerful magnet. It draws the events, people, and opportunities that correspond to your inner state. The universe is like a great mirror. It reflects back to you the emotional reality you carry within. But here lies the challenge. Most people feel lack, fear, and limitation because they are too focused on the current circumstances. They look at what is rather than what could be, and their feelings mirror the absence, not the presence. This is why their reality remains unchanged. To feel it is to step beyond the evidence of your senses and enter the realm of the imagined fulfilled. It is to know, without doubt, that your desire already exists in the invisible world. It is to live in the end, not in the means. You must practice this daily, for feeling is a skill, an art, and like all arts, it requires patience and dedication. Begin each day by settling yourself in quiet. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and picture your desire fulfilled. Feel the joy, the peace, the satisfaction of having what you want. Hold that feeling steadily and carry it with you as the foundation of your day. When doubts arise, and they will, return gently to your feeling. Do not fight the doubt, but acknowledge it and then refocus on the feeling of your fulfilled desire. This persistent return to feeling is like honing a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger your power to manifest becomes. Understand that feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, which is the creative soil from which all physical experiences sprout. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined with feeling. It accepts whatever you impress upon it with emotional conviction as truth. Therefore, your task is to become the master of your inner feelings. Do not allow the outer world's seeming contradictions to sway you. The outer world is a reflection, never the source. The source is your inner state. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of focusing on bills unpaid or lack, imagine yourself already free from all financial worry. Picture yourself spending freely, giving generously, living in ease and comfort. Feel the relief and the joy as if it is happening now. Walk in that feeling throughout your day. The moment you can truly feel yourself as abundant, the path to that abundance will open to you. It is not about forcing money to come, but about changing your inner reality so that money flows naturally to you because you have become a vibrational match to abundance. Another example is love. Instead of longing for a partner or dwelling on loneliness, feel yourself already loved and loving. Feel the warmth in your chest, the smile on your face, the connection you have with others. When you live in the feeling of love, love comes to you effortlessly. The world is always responding to your inner feeling, whether you are aware of it or not. You are constantly creating your reality with your feelings. Just as surely as a sculptor creates a statue from clay, so to feel it is to create it. You are the artist of your experience, and your feelings are the brushstrokes. You might ask, how do I know if I am truly feeling it? You will know by the peace and certainty you feel inside. When your desire is truly felt, there is no struggle or forcing. It is a calm knowing, a gentle but firm assurance. Your body relaxes, your mind is quiet, and your heart opens. Sometimes people confuse wishing or hoping with feeling. Wishing is the mind's surface level desire. Feeling is the soul's deep conviction. Wishing is like a fleeting thought. Feeling is like a steady flame. To cultivate this feeling, you can use various techniques. One is to use affirmations that evoke strong feeling, not just words repeated, but words lived. For example, say to yourself, I am abundant, but feel the meaning of those words vibrate through you. Let your body respond with warmth and openness. Another powerful technique is living as if. Behave, think, and feel as though your desire is already realized. Dress, speak, move, and act with the confidence that comes from knowing your wish is fulfilled. This behavior changes your internal state and sends a message to your subconscious. You will begin to notice subtle shifts. Ideas come to you, doors open, people show up unexpectedly. These are the manifestations of your feeling. Trust them, follow them, and keep your feelings steady. Remember, the world you see is a reflection of the world you feel. Change your feeling, and your world changes. This is the greatest secret of all creation, and it is available to you at any moment. I urge you to become aware of your feelings and their creative power. Most people neglect this inner world, but it is where your true power lies. Your feelings are the invisible architects of your life. When you feel fear or doubt, acknowledge it, but do not dwell. Choose to shift your feeling to something better: hope, faith, certainty. The more you practice this, the more automatic it becomes. In time, you will find that you no longer need to consciously force the feeling. It becomes your natural state. You will wake up feeling your desires already fulfilled. You will walk through life with the ease of someone who knows the future is theirs. And when you meet the outer world, you will meet it as a friend, not an adversary. You will no longer be buffeted by circumstance, but you will be the calm center around which all things revolve. You will see that your outer conditions are not random, but carefully arranged reflections of your inner feeling. This is why I say to you now, I will teach you how to feel it, not just how to think it, not just how to visualize, but how to truly feel the reality you desire. Because feeling is the power that moves mountains, that parts seas, that opens doors no one else can open. Feeling is the secret current that flows beneath every creation. I invite you to begin now. Close your eyes and bring before you the reality you want. Feel it as if it is already yours. Let the feeling rise within you until it saturates your whole being. Hold it there, walk in it, live in it. You will find that the world begins to shift to meet you there. There is no power greater than this power of feeling. Use it wisely, use it deliberately, use it with faith. Your life will never be the same, because once you learn to feel it, you will understand that you are the creator of your world. And the world will respond in kind. Now, let us dive even deeper into this profound art of feeling. To truly master it, you must recognize that feeling is not merely a fleeting emotion, but a state of being, a vibrational frequency that you embody moment by moment. When you embody this state, you become a living magnet for the reality you desire. It is not something you force from the outside, it is something you become from the inside out. Imagine a vast ocean. Your feelings are the waves and currents that move through that ocean. When your feelings are turbulent, chaotic, or fearful, your ocean churns and the surface is restless. When your feelings are calm, joyful, and certain, your ocean becomes still and reflective. The stillness of the ocean is what allows the sunlight to penetrate and reveal the depths beneath. That stillness is the state in which your desires are conceived and nurtured. Many people mistake the feeling of excitement or anticipation as the key, but excitement is often unstable and dependent on external triggers. The feeling I speak of is the quiet, unshakable knowing. It is the feeling of peace that comes from trust, the feeling of satisfaction that comes from fulfillment already realized. This feeling does not depend on the presence or absence of anything external. It is self-generated, independent, and unwavering. To cultivate this feeling, you must practice living in the end, living as if the desire has already been fulfilled. This does not mean denying reality or pretending blindly. It means acknowledging your current situation while refusing to be emotionally or mentally captive to it. It means that no matter what your senses tell you, your feelings remain anchored in the reality you choose to create. You see, the senses are often deceivers. They report only what currently is, but they do not report what can be. Feeling, on the other hand, transcends the senses. Feeling moves beyond what is visible and tangible and connects you to what is possible and inevitable. Think of a child waiting for a holiday or a birthday. The child often enters into the feeling of receiving the gift or experiencing the celebration days, even weeks before it arrives. That feeling, innocent, vivid, and certain, is a pure example of how to feel it. The child lives in the end, knowing the event will come. This is the secret. We must recapture that childlike certainty in our desires, regardless of our age or experience. One practical method to cultivate this feeling is to create a mental scene, a small, simple moment that implies the fulfillment of your desire. For instance, if you desire a loving relationship, imagine a quiet evening where you feel completely accepted and cherished. Picture a detail, the sound of a laugh, the warmth of a hand held, the softness of a glance, but more importantly, feel the emotion, the safety, the joy, the belonging, as if it is happening now. Repeat this scene often until it becomes a living memory in your mind. When you do this, your subconscious mind accepts this new memory as true. It no longer distinguishes it from past experiences. It becomes your new reality. Your subconscious then sets to work aligning your external world to correspond with this inner state. Many have asked, how long does it take for this feeling to manifest into reality? The answer is, as soon as your feeling becomes dominant, unwavering, and free of contradiction. Contradiction is the poison that kills manifestation. If you feel the desire deeply, but then doubt or fear creeps in, the subconscious receives a confusing message. It is like trying to drive a car with the accelerator and brake pressed at the same time. Your task, therefore, is to watch your feelings like a vigilant guardian. Notice the subtle ways in which doubt, fear, or impatience arise. When you catch them, gently shift your attention back to the feeling of fulfillment. Do this consistently. The inner tension will ease, and your feeling will grow stronger. Remember, the subconscious mind does not understand time as the conscious mind does. It receives impressions as existing now. When you impress upon it the feeling of fulfillment, it begins to work immediately, even if the external world seems to contradict it. This is why patience is not passive waiting, but active persistence in feeling the reality you want. The time between impressing your feeling and seeing external results is the gestation period, a sacred time when unseen forces arrange circumstances to match your inner state. In this time, you may notice shifts in your thoughts, attitudes, and even behaviors. You may find yourself naturally drawn to new opportunities, ideas, or people. These are signs that your feeling is working its magic. Trust them. Do not reject these nudges simply because they do not fit your previous understanding. The key is to remain faithful to your feeling. Faith is the force that holds your feeling steady when external evidence says otherwise. Faith is the belief in the unseen, the conviction that what you desire is already real because you have felt it so deeply. Now, let us explore how to overcome common obstacles that block the power of feeling. One major obstacle is the habit of negative thinking. When negative thoughts arise, they trigger negative feelings, which then manifest unwanted realities. You cannot manifest abundance while feeling lack. You cannot manifest love while feeling loneliness. Therefore, when negative thoughts arise, do not engage with them. Instead, consciously replace them with thoughts that lead to feelings of your desired reality. If a thought about lack arises, replace it with a thought of plenty. If a thought of rejection arises, replace it with a thought of acceptance and belonging. This conscious mental discipline may feel difficult at first, but it becomes easier with practice. The more you do it, the more automatic it becomes to shift your feeling back to the desired state. Another obstacle is impatience. Impatience often leads to frustration, which destroys the feeling of fulfillment. When you are impatient, you tell your subconscious that you do not truly believe in the reality you desire. This weakens the creative power. Instead, cultivate the feeling of calm assurance. Trust that your desire is manifesting in perfect timing. Understand that the universe's timing is always perfect, even if it differs from your own. You may also encounter skepticism from others or yourself. Skepticism is natural when dealing with invisible forces. But remember, what you feel inside is your reality, regardless of external opinion. Do not let the doubts of others dilute your feeling. When you practice feeling it consistently, you build an unshakable inner fortress of certainty. This fortress protects your creative power from the storms of doubt and fear. I encourage you now to imagine yourself living this life where your deepest desire is fulfilled. Feel the texture of that reality, the sounds, the colors, the smells, the sensations. Let your whole being immerse in it. Feel the gratitude swelling within you, the peace, the joy. Let this feeling wash over you like a warm tide. Hold this feeling throughout your day. Return to it whenever you can, like returning home. The world will begin to mirror this inner reality. Opportunities will arise, people will shift, circumstances will change, all to reflect the feeling you carry. You are not at the mercy of external events. You are the master of your inner state, and your inner state shapes your outer world. This power is yours to claim. Use it wisely, use it deliberately, use it with unwavering faith. You will find that your life becomes a reflection of your feeling, a living testimony of your creative power. This is the essence of the law that governs all creation. To feel it is to create it. So I say to you once more, with all the conviction of one who knows the truth, I will teach you how to feel it, and in that teaching you will find the key to unlock every door you desire. The journey begins now. Now consider how often you have experienced a moment when something you wished for simply appeared, sometimes unexpectedly, sometimes almost effortlessly. What was different about those moments? What made them possible? The answer lies in your feeling. In those moments, even if only briefly, you allowed yourself to truly feel what it would be like to have your desire fulfilled. You stepped beyond wishing and into the realm of knowing. This knowing is the seed from which all manifestation grows. This is why feeling is not just a passive state, but a dynamic force. When you feel your desire fulfilled, you become a beacon, radiating a frequency that attracts the necessary conditions to bring that desire into physical form. It is like tuning a radio dial until the signal comes through clear and strong. The clearer your feeling, the stronger your signal. But what if your feelings fluctuate? What if you find yourself doubting or slipping back into old habits of fear or lack? Understand that this is part of the process, not a failure. The journey of learning to feel it is like learning to play a musical instrument. At first, your notes may be uneven, your rhythm uncertain. But with patience and practice, your inner symphony becomes harmonious and beautiful. Each time you return your focus to the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen your ability to hold that feeling longer and more consistently. You build an inner muscle of faith and certainty, and that muscle will carry you through times when the external world seems to contradict your inner state. Another powerful way to deepen your feeling is to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is the doorway to feeling. When you feel grateful, you open your heart and align yourself with abundance. Begin by giving thanks for what you already have, no matter how small it seems. Then, give thanks in advance for what you desire, as if it is already yours. This simple practice shifts your vibration and prepares you to receive. You may also find it helpful to surround yourself with reminders of your fulfilled desire, images, words, objects that evoke the feeling you want to cultivate. These external aids can help anchor your feeling throughout the day, keeping you connected to the reality you are creating. Remember, your feeling is your command. The universe does not negotiate with your thoughts or plans. It answers your feelings. When you learn to govern your feelings, you become the master of your destiny. This is not a vague or mystical idea. It is a practical truth that has been known and practiced by those who have shaped their lives in extraordinary ways. So I urge you, do not underestimate the power of feeling. Do not allow the noise of the world or the doubts of the mind to drown out the quiet voice of your heart. Choose to feel your desire fulfilled. Choose to live in the end. Choose to embody the reality you seek. And watch as the world begins to transform before your very eyes. This is the art, the science, and the magic of creation. This is how you learn to feel it. And through feeling it, you will bring forth a life beyond your wildest dreams. So now you stand at a crossroads, not of chance, but of choice. You have been given the key, the secret, the power that lies not in struggle or will, but in the mastery of feeling. When you learn to feel your desire as real and present, you unlock the door to all that you have imagined and more. The world will shift around you to reflect the reality you have embraced within. Remember, it is not the circumstances that create your life, but your feelings about those circumstances. When you feel the fulfillment, you invite it to come forth. When you hold the feeling steady, unwavering, you command creation itself to answer your call. Go forth with confidence, feel deeply, live fully in the reality you choose, and watch as the life you have always dreamed of unfolds effortlessly before you, because you have learned the greatest lesson of all, the art of how to feel it. This is your gift, this is your power, this is your destiny.